What's up, everybody? Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We are back at it again, doing another top 10 Void Epics. It was very hard to do this one. There's so many good Voids in this game, but we kind of narrowed it down. Now, again, this is my kind of opinion on what I think the top 10 Void Rare or Epics are. We're going to do rare ones after this, but if you didn't check out the legendary one, go check out that one. They're a lot harder to get, but a lot of us, I'm sure, have these Void Epics that we're about to go over. I picked them based off how well we can use them in the game, not strictly just they hit hard or they can one-shot people. It's mainly how can we use them in Doom Tower, can we use them in Dragon, can we use them in Clan Boss, wherever it may be. But if you get these epics, they will help out your account so much. We have some of them on this account. We don't have some of them on this account. So we're going to start off by going over, and I did limit this to 10. The Legos, I did like 12 or 13 of them, but this one we're only going to do 10. Let me know in the comments below if you haven't subscribe, you'll get the notifications. But let me know in the comments if I missed anybody, if you would re-rank them, or just let me know. I love reading the comments. So we're going to start off first at number 10. Now, we actually just pulled this epic. I don't know if you guys have her yet. I literally just pulled her. I've been playing this game for 2 years and I just got it. But we're starting number 10 at Skullcrown. Now, why she isn't higher is really because you kind of need specific gear to use her in PvE. She hits really, really hard in PvP. She's unkillable. So, like, I ranked her at 10 because if you do get her, she will help out your account depending on the gear that you put on her. But we ranked her at number 10, and let's go over her stuff. So she has an A1, which attacks all enemies. Anybody who has an A1 that attacks all enemies is phenomenal, especially in Epic. But this is a Void. All these are Void, so meaning like there's no bad counters to them. They're always going to crit. They're always going to hit hard. So let's get into it. 1500 base attack is really high, by the way. But attacks all enemies, places an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. So most of the time, if she goes before Sinesha or the other pair with her, she'll be able to hit twice really hard, and then Sinesha goes, hits twice, and then just nukes down the entire team. They call that a blender comp. So if you get her, you're kind of set for PvP, especially growing throughout the entire up to gold 4. Once you get to like kind of platinum, she kind of dies off, but she's still really good at gold 4. She was very annoying to face, so that's her A1. Now, next one is also an AoE. Attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. So she can bring in a weaken to 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty fast. But really, she's got 2 AoE attacks, which is awesome. So Sunset would be really good on her. Also having a counter attack set, but she's going to bring out the masteries where if she loses health, she's going to be able to counter attack. That's kind of what she's known for. She's got 7,000 reviews, and I literally just got it. Her passive is this is kind of what put her at number 10, was place an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn every time her HP drops below 20%. So you can't kill her unless you have like a Brodos or somebody that ignores unkillable, or you put up a block cooldown or block skill on her before this happens. But most of the time, she doesn't have a lot of HP, so this kind of just happens right away. She'll counter attack, and then this is actually get down to a 4-turn cooldown. So if you CC the team enough, this will be able to proc again. But what makes her really cool is if you pair her with Sinesha. So if you have a Sinesha, she'll be able to be revived automatically if you do kill her. So if you happen to get around this unkillable buff, it'll revive this champion with 30% HP. If you have a Sinesha, which brings it down to a 6-turn cooldown. So if you proc the unkillable, she lasts maybe 1 or 2 more turns, and then she gets rezzed up. This will basically hopefully proc again. It's really cool. She also does bring in speed aura in arena by 23%, which is actually really high when Arbiter's 30%. So she's able to be your lead for arena, especially in 3v3. So if you have her in a 3v3 team, she could be your second lead team for that. So there you go. We're starting off strong. We're starting off with a Skullcrown at number 10 as the top 10 Void epics. All right, so let's get out of this. Let's get into Dark Elves. And we have somebody I just got recently, actually, Syla. Now, why Syla above Skullcrown is because of her CC capability. She has an E3, which actually places 30% decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and decrease their turn meter by 40%. This gets down to a 4-turn cooldown. You really want to build her as fast as you possibly can, because she actually has 105 space speed. So you build her really, really fast. She's just controlling the wave. She's controlling bosses, actually, in Doom Tower. Being able to put up a decreased speed on a boss as well as their turn meters is huge. This helps in Spiders. This helps in Doom Tower. It's very, very good. So she's definitely going to be able to help you out controlling the waves in PvP as well as PvE. That's why she was ranked above Skullcrown. But she also has another AoE, so she's got AoE, AoE, and then a debuff on AoE. So AoE is just attacks all enemies, just basic. So if you ever like a sunset or something like that, she's going to be able to do that for you guys. But attacks all enemies has an 80% up to 100% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy. So you're just going to help your team survive a little longer and not get debuffed placed on them. She also has a speed aura and faction crypts by 22%. So I got her, I leveled her up only to 50, but she can help out with speed. So she makes your team super fast and she slows down the other team. So your team is just going to be lapping people in faction wars. So it's kind of why I ranked her number 9. She's a very cool champion. Again, I just got her recently. She looks awesome. Definitely like the bondage cone right there. But yeah, she's a cool champion. So support. 18,000 HP, that's pretty good. Cool. So that is number 9. Now this person I actually just got to 60. No, he's level 41, but I'm actually making videos with him in PvP. He just came out. Inquisitor Shamael. That guy. So Inquisitor. So the Inquisitor, I think is freaking awesome. He will never let you have a fear debuff on your team ever. The Faction Wars Stage 21 puts up the fear on your people, but guess what? He just takes it away. So each critical hit fills his target's turn meter by 7.5% whenever an ally receives fear or true fear debuff. This skill is instantly removed, and the debuff and fill the ally's turn meter by 15%. So whenever an ally receives a fear or a true fear debuff, this skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill that ally's turn meter by 15%. Like he just automatically has you can't fear my team. That's probably why he's an Inquisitor. So he's awesome. Like you run him in PvP against like Shamael. I forget what the dragon dude, the undead guy. You run him. The legendary that everybody's running now that puts up the true fear on everybody like that is just null and void. Madame Serris' shield, like anybody that puts a fear up, he instantly takes it away. But he also does this: attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of decreasing the duration of a random buff up to a 60-75% chance by one turn, and counterattacks, just innately, counterattacks with this skill each time an enemy places a debuff on an ally. This happens so much, especially in PvP. So once they put up any type of debuff, literally any debuff, he will then counterattack that person instantly, and he has a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of a buff. These counterattacks, I mean, it doesn't hit too hard, but if they already have a defense down or weakened or anything on them, it's going to hit hard. But it's only 50% of the normal damage, and it won't be critical. So it doesn't hit too much, but again, it's a free passive that literally just attacks somebody. So if the entire other team just runs up, puts up a something on the other team, you just counterattack instantly, and you can't be feared. So if somebody puts a fear up, he instantly takes it away and then counterattacks that person. This is kind of what he's known for, though. So if you've seen any of his videos yet, I'm going to post a video soon once he's fully 60. Attacks one enemy 3 times, so it's a 3-turn cooldown. Will ignore 25% of the target's defense automatically, and will ignore a further 25% of the target's defense for each buff that is on this champion. So you put 3 buffs on this champion, he ignores 100% of the defense automatically. Not even if it's on the enemy team. It's like if you buff up your team, so you put up like Arbiter, that's a 1 buff. Yeah, you put up Apothecary, speed, that's 2 buffs. If he starts with a shield or somebody has a shield set on them, that's 3 buffs automatically. You can bring in just Bad Elf. He puts up 2 on you. If you have a shield, that's 1 person. Mausoleum Mage, he puts up 3 buffs automatically. Like there's so many people in this game that buff up your character before this guy goes that he's almost always going to have 75 to 100% ignore defense for anybody. Like, that works on bosses, that works on waves, that works on literally anybody. So for my guy, I actually put him in a plus 15 attack and a shield. So that way every round he automatically starts with 1, even if I don't have a shield set on somebody else. Every round he's going to be able to start with a shield on him, so that way he already has 1. So if I have like an attack up or somebody else that puts up another buff, I only need 2 more buffs to get to this proc, which is awesome. So that's a suggestion if you want to do that. Also, after he kills somebody, which he will kill somebody, place a True Fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy. So you run him in, or you kind of buff up your team, he goes in, 1-shot somebody, or 3 hits them, but then they die, everybody's now True Fear. So CC is insane. That's kind of why I ranked him at number 8, because he hits really freaking hard, and he can CC, and he can help out your team by taking away fears and True Fears. He also brings a unique aura to Doom Tower, so this is definitely needed. Doom Tower battles by 60. So basically putting him as a lead increases your accuracy for everybody to Doom Tower. He's at 101 speed, which is very good. 1288 attack, which is okay. Low HP. But I mean, this guy is awesome. I'm already running him. I'm doing videos. I'm excited because him in PvP is just hilarious. He's level 41, killing people in PvP already. So excited about him. Now number 7, another new guy. All the new people they added were a lot of voids. But another new guy we got, the dwarf, you probably guessed it. It's Gary. Ragnar Goldley. Now why he's above the other guy is because he hits really hard, but he could also help with a clan boss. So you can't True Fear the clan boss. Clan boss doesn't have fear. So the Inquisitor doesn't really help out too much. But this guy will. So he's got an A1 that actually puts up a leech up on the boss. So that is phenomenal. Has a 60% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. So that's on A1. So if he runs up, hits somebody, he has a 60% chance of placing a leech. If you have a counterattack team, it's even more. So the leech is just going to help out your team heal so much on the clan boss. 2 is sacrifices HP equal to 15% of this champion's max HP, then fills the champion's Terminator by 75%, and places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 3 turns. The shield buff cannot be removed, and the HP sacrifice will happen even if it kills the enemy. So that's kind of like on all the HP champions that has that. It could kill, but fills a Terminator of this champion, fills this champion's start. So he's flying, like he is going super fast, and puts up a shield buff. Plays a 50% increased attack buff on the champion for 2 turns, then attacks 1 enemy. So he's basically going to buff up himself, run up and attack somebody. Has a 75% chance of placing 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns, and has a 75% chance of placing 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. So basically, you have your own Rosin right here, or Draco, while buffing himself. And it's on 4, I mean, it's only a 4-turn cooldown, but it's up to 100% once you buff him out. So 100%, 4-turn cooldown, be able to speed up himself. So a pretty good, easy way to get a faster ratio for this. So if he's like double lapping the clan boss, you can definitely do that. He also has a passive decreasing the cooldown of this champion's gleam of this thing. So you can actually decrease the champion's skill by 1 turn every time the champion loses 15% HP. So almost always is going to be a 3-turn cooldown, which again helps so much for the clan boss. HP loss is cumulative and tracked over multiple turns, attacks, or hits, and not affected by the okay, cool. So awesome champion, awesome champion, awesome champion. I leveled him up, or I got him for the fusion, but then I used him for the fusion. So I actually don't have him right now, which kind of stinks. But there's a ton of videos on him because he definitely helps out a lot. The aura is attack and Doom Tower by 35%, which is huge. So anybody that Doom Tower, all the new champions usually help out in the Doom Tower. But 99 base speed, which is pretty good. 1400 attack, which is good. So yeah, he brings a lot to the table. He definitely helps out bosses and Doom Tower. This is cool, the leech. Alright, so that is number 7. Now number 6, I love this girl. She helped out in 3v3 Tag Team Arena. She's helping out in Faction Wars. But Cardinal is number 7. Now, why I picked her is because she helps out in a lot of places. You can use her in PvE, just kind of running through dungeons to help bring up your entire team. If you book her out, she actually has a revive all dead allies, heals them by 25% of their max HP, and boosts their turn meter to max. That is huge. So basically, not just rising everybody and just being like, all right, they're just going to die again anyway, literally rising them up, and then they go to attack. So if you build super, super high attack people, like they just kind of one-shot everybody, like turn 1, they're going to go and they're going to kill somebody. If they die, she's going to res them up, and then they're all going to go in and attack and kill somebody again. Like, this works really well in going second teams for PvP, but also PvE. She's going to help you with your faction wars if you make her super tanky, because if she's the last one to survive, she's going to res up your entire team. They're going to go in and just one-shot everybody. So this gets down to a 5-turn cooldown. She has 104 base speed, which is really good. Really good defense, okay attack, for attacking people. I built mine super tanky, so she has no attack masteries. It's all defense and the other one, healing, because she does heal. So heals the target ally by 30% of their max HP and places 60% increased defense. So 3-turn cooldown heal, boosts up the heal, and turn 1 just puts up the poison. So attacks one enemy, has a 10% chance of placing 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. She doesn't really need accuracy. Like, I didn't bring her in to do damage. I literally brought her in to just be super resistant. A lot of HP, a lot of defense, like mainly defense, but she's there to res up my team. She's there to literally support your whole team by resing them up and having them go in and just kill whatever the hell they want to kill. Really cool in PvP, really cool in PvE, and helps you out a lot in faction wars. So that's why I ranked her up at number 6. She's really cool. I actually just got my 2nd Cardinal. I don't know if I need 2 of them, but it'd be really annoying if you have 2 Cardinals on the same team. So who knows? We'll try it out. All right, number 5. This person helped me a lot. Faction Wars, Doom Tower, like she's literally made for Doom Tower. Umbral, Enchantress. So Umbral is a champion that came out a couple months ago, maybe a year ago. She looks really cool. But she's got 2 skills that are going to help you out a lot. Ice Golem. She's very, very good at Ice Golem. But this skill right here. Attacks all enemies, has an 80, 90, 100% chance of placing a provoke. She's void, so never a weak hit. Debuff for 2 turns. Places an unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns, and places a block cooldown skill on this champion. So basically, when she uses this, she puts up a block cooldown, skill on herself, so she can't use the other skills, only her A1. But this can be removed. So if you have like a bad L, if you have a bad L or somebody that can remove debuffs, you can actually remove this, reset it, and then use it on another wave. Or remove it and kind of use her A2, which is another AoE block skill. So there's a way around this, but this doesn't carry over to the second wave. So basically, if you use this on wave 1, you can use this again on wave 2, as long as the cooldown gets up. But this provokes almost all the time. I have my Umbral Enchantress, the final tier 6 master, is a plus 50 accuracy. Mine I think has like 300, 330 accuracy, just to make sure that she always hits this. It's very, very good. So yeah, she's phenomenal. She's gonna help out all the waves. She very good. If you get her, you're kind of set running throughout the entire game. So there's that. Now her second skill is attack. Another AoE, attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing a block buff for 3 turns. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. So basically, you're always putting up block buffs. This is very good for the Ice Golem, because wave 2, you have to put up the block buff, so that way they can't put up the reflect damage on themselves. So this definitely helps out in a lot of places. So kind of sometimes if she's fast, you do this first, and then you can do this. But most of the time, you're just going to do this automatically, just so you can provoke. Very high defense, average HP, but she has the unkillable, so she's not going to die that often. Attacks one enemy, damage increase, current HP decreases, or as her current HP decreases. She hits very hard, actually. I've seen her a lot in PvP. Like, when I first got her, I put her as much speed and accuracy as possible, and I just made her go after Arbiter, so that if Arbiter went, then she went, and provoked everybody, so that way everybody just attacked her on their A1s, and then my other two people debuffed and nuked that other team. So if you wanted her in PvP, if we have two of them, use one of them in PvP because she's definitely good, and she can actually hit really hard. So if you build her with some crit and crit damage with defense, she does hit fairly hard in PvE content. So very good champion. If you get her, congrats. If you get two of them, you're kind of set everywhere. I think I just got my second one, so we might have to use it for Faction Wars because I'm on the boss for Faction Wars. We have to beat that guy. Number 4. I just pulled my second one. I don't know if you need to, but he is my automatic PvP champion. So Basher, 95 base speed, not that fast, but he's an attack champion that actually does increase cooldown. So attacks all enemies, increases the cooldown of all target skills by 2 turns. So it's on a 3-turn cooldown. He also has, what the other champion has, attacks 4 times at random, has a 75 up to 100% chance of placing a block buff debuff for 2 turns. So he can put up block buffs on a 4-turn cooldown, but he also screws over the other team by increasing their cooldown by 2 turns, not 1, but 2 turns. And if you make him fast, which you probably will, he's in my PvP team, I think at like 270 speed. He's lapping people in PvE content constantly and just never letting them use their skills. So A1 attacks one enemy has a 75% chance of placing 25% weaken. Cool, but mainly you're going to use him for this. So he helps out PvE a lot. He helps out in the waves in Faction Wars a lot, in Doom Tower a lot. Like he literally just carries you by having the other team not hit hard or put up their debuffs or put up their crazy buffs, whatever it is. He's going to help you out so much if you get a Basher. He made my PvP team auto because Arbiter goes first, boosts up the team. He uses this automatically in PvP, so he'll increase the other skill cooldown. So that way, if you have slower people, like not all the time you can get your DPS guy up to 250 speed. It's very hard. But if you have this guy, you don't care because they're only going to use their A1s, and most of the time they're going to go against Basher because he doesn't have a crazy amount of HP. I literally just put speed on him and accuracy. So if you put speed and accuracy on him, they're gonna do their A1s on him, so that way your other 2 DPS guys are fine. Debuff, nuke, dead. Game over. So once I got him, leveled him up as soon as I possibly could, put the best spear besides speed gear besides Arbiter on him, and he will help you out so much. So very, very, very good World Champion. That is Basher. He's got an aura. HP in all battles, which is awesome. So all battles with 25% HP. So you can bring him anywhere and just make him your lead if you don't have another good aura. All right, so that was actually number 4. Number 3, you can probably guess the top 3. But number 3 is Dark Elf. Not Dark Elf. What is she? There we go. Work. I had to think about that. She is Seer. Now, why is Seer number 3? It's very hard. You can probably pick the top, but number Seer is 3 because she can nuke literally everything in this game. There's so many videos out there of her just running up, buffing up your team, and then just nuke down the entire wave. She is used in Doom Tower level 119. Like, she's used everywhere. So she's used for speed runs, she's used for PvE, she's used for PvP, she's used for Doom Tower, Faction Wars. Like, she is number 3. Because you can use her everywhere, and she hits probably the hardest in this game for an AoE nuke. This is what it is right here. Removes all buffs from all allies, so that's why you're buffing up your team, and enemies. So you remove all of your buffs and the enemy buffs, then attacks all enemies. Damage increase according to the number of buffs removed. So basically you want people to pair with her that can buff her up, like Mausoleum Mage puts up 3 buffs on everybody. If he has a shield set, that's 4 buffs on everybody. Bad Alcazar puts up 2 buffs on everybody and increases the damage on the other team. Anybody that buffs up more than once and put a shield set on them is going to be paired very, very well with Seer. So if you go Bad L and Mausoleum Mage, that's 4, 5, 6. That's 6 buffs that they just put up for both those two. If you put up an Arbiter or anybody that has an attack up, that's 7 buffs. 7 times 5 35 buffs on your team, and whatever buffs they have on their team is a lot of buffs that you literally just take off and then boom, nuke down the entire wave. What you want to do on her is she has 104 speed, which she's pretty fast, but make sure you have 100% crit rate. If you put Battle as a lead, you already have 20-some% crit rate right there. Mausoleum Mage is going to put up 30% crit rate right there. So you already have 55% crit rate. So if you put up like as much crit damage as possible, like 300 crit damage, you only need 50% crit rate on her. I would suggest the one that ignores defense for the for her gear, Savage Set. So you put up Savage Set, put a crit lead as a leader and Mausoleum Mage, and you're all set with this girl. She hits really hard. If you don't kill him, you actually put him to sleep. It's awesome. Like, it is very, very good. Works very well in PvP as well. So A2 plays a 30% increased crit rate on all allies for 2 turns, plays a 25% weaken on enemies for 2 turns, so she can buff up your team. And also the A1 attacks one enemy as a 15, up to a 20% chance of grading an extra turn. So she also can help out in just running off, hitting somebody and going again, and decreasing this cooldown for you automatically just by getting extra turns. Her aura is resistant all battles, which is pretty good. You need it from Doom Tower to lead you or not, but it's pretty good aura. But yeah, that's Seer. She is one of the hardest hitting, if not the hardest hitting AoE champions in the entire game. Just made for speedruns. So really cool champion. Number 2, it was a toss up. So we had 2 champions at number 1 and number 2. Number 2 I picked because of the flame boss, Maneater. If you get one of the Maneaters, you can make a killable team. If you get 2, it's even easier. If you get 3, like, he just makes you 1 to 2 key the clan boss without even thinking. So if you get this guy, he kind of just changes your account because you're able to do the clan boss in 1 to 2 keys, as well as help out in PvE, help out in PvP. Like, having him killable on your team, and AoE unkillable, and I guess block buffs, just changes your account. I don't have one yet. I don't have an AoE unkillable, but if I did, I would do the 1 key / 2 key clan boss like instantly. It just helps progress your account so much. So that's kind of why I picked him as number 2 compared to number 1. But you get this guy, he is going to change everything. There's so many videos on him. I can't do one yet because I don't have him yet. One of my guys, Red Pill, actually just pulled him, so maybe we'll get him up and we can do a video on him. But he's awesome. Like, I want him. This champion receives damage, then places unkillable buff and block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. 7/6 down to a 5-turn cooldown. You make him super fast. He's able to kind of lag people. You bring in a Painkeeper, reset your cooldowns. Like, very good. All right, so that's kind of why he's there. Now this one attacks 1 enemy, fully depletes the target's turn meter, fills this target's turn meter equal to the amount of the target loses. So good in a lot of bosses, good in Doom Tower, good in PvP. It's got an aura, LHP in dungeons, so pretty good in dungeons. And attacks 1 enemy, places a 50% decreased attack debuff on all enemies. This attack is critical, so almost you're always going to get the critical, but you can use this in the clan boss as well. So it decreases attack, the big version, 98% speed, good defense, so 1100 defense on an HP champion and 20k HP, really, really good. But again, if you're unkillable, you don't really care about these stats. You just want to make sure that you're fast, and that's it. So you get 1 Maneater, you're set. If you get 2, you're even more set. You get 3, I'm jealous. But that is our number 2 pick, is the Maneater. All right, so let's get into number 1. If you guys haven't guessed already, number 1, I don't have her. A lot of people do have her, but it's this girl right here, Madame Serris. She has 7,000 reviews. She's 5 in almost everything. Fire Night now, but she is amazing. Her AI just got reworked to do this skill even more, which removes all buffs from enemies. So she kind of comes in, just removes all buffs, places a 50% decrease attack, so your team gets hit less, and 60% decrease defense, so your team hits harder. on all enemies for 2 turns. This is down to a 4-turn cooldown. She has 100 base speed. Like this is she's the legendary. She's literally a legendary in an epic body. She came out last year during the Halloween event. A lot of people have been just pulling tons of her. She had a couple ×2 events, ×10 events, and I still haven't got her. But if you got her, she's literally the #1 epic void champion in the entire game. So congratulations. This is, again, the A3. The A2 attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of stealing 1 random buff from each target, which is awesome. Place a block debuff on all allies for 2 turns if any buff is stolen, which is awesome. And plays a True Fear debuff for 1 turn on enemies who have buffs stolen. Unless you have Inquisitor, which then you can't do that. She has a passive, which is really cool. She actually just places a shield buff on the champion equal to 10% of their max HP at the start of every turn. So this is really good for the scare buffs. She just kind of, I've seen videos where she just solos the scare buffs because she literally just keeps doing this every single turn and attacking. Cool champion. 1 attack under shield buff has a 35% chance of placing a fear. So anybody who attacks her, she places a fear on the champion for 1 turn. And attacks one enemy has a 20% chance of placing a fear debuff for 1 turn. This chance increased by 30% if target is under 1 debuff, and increased by 45% chance if the target is under 2 or more debuffs, which most of the time they will because of this. So she'll be doing this a lot more with the new AI. She's just a very good champ. She'll help you out literally everywhere. You can bring her in almost everything in the entire game. She's so good. Red Pill, I think, had like 4 of these girls, so thanks, Red Pill. But yeah, so that is my pick of the top 10. Let me know what you guys think about your picks, my picks. What you would change, if you would change anything, if you agree. But guys, hit subscribe if you haven't already. This is just the epic version. Go check out the legendary videos. We're going to make a rare one coming up soon. The rare, there's just so many rares. I think there's like 49 void rares that we have to go through. But we're going to go through all of them, pick out the top 10, maybe the top 12, I haven't decided yet, and then post a video on that. But check out my Inquisitor video because he is coming up soon. He is awesome. And let me know what you guys think. Good luck with everything. Thanks for clicking on the video. Appreciate you all. Fellow dirtbags, let's go. And enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks.